2025 season. And there's not many changes to their home uniforms, but the biggest change is to their alternate jersey for away games.
Yeah, rather than saying Cleveland across the chest, the team is opting for the Diamond C logo on the left-hand side. You see it there. And here's the thing. This gives a nod to the original jerseys in the early 1900s, including the 1920 World Series team jersey. So maybe that's what we're going for. We're thinking, all right, let's double that up and go for the big win again. The new uniform set will be available, by the way, for you to buy yourself. That's sometime before the 2025 season. An exact date has not yet been announced, but it will be available to you.
Changes to Progressive Field are also underway in advance of the home opener in April. Back in November, the team announced that they would continue to replace the original green seats that had been in the ballpark since it was known as Jacobs Field back in 1994. In those 30 years, the team has appeared in 3 World Series contests, had 5 Cy Young winners, many iconic walk-off home runs, and, of course, millions of fans. The team decided to sell some of the seats for $300 per pair, with a portion of the proceeds going to Cleveland Guardians charities. Within hours of the sale being announced, all of the seats were sold out. Fans were limited to only buying 1 pair each. The green seats are being replaced with blue seats. Last week, we aired part 1 of our conversation with Cleveland Guardians Vice President of Public Affairs, Bob DiBiasio. Now we finish that conversation as he updates us on Progressive Field renovations and just how tight that Central Division race is expected to be this year. Meanwhile, at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario, some changes are happening as we speak to Progressive Field. Is that all going to be done by the time the home opener takes place, or is that an ongoing situation?
Well, we certainly hope so. The only thing that won't be done is the changing of every seat to that blue color, and so that's a 3-year project. And so there'll still be some seats that you'll see that have the original green seat to it. But otherwise, all the new areas, the North Coast Social is the new replacing the Terrace Club. It's now going to be an open air area. You can go to cleguardians.com and look at the renderings and see what that beautiful space is going to look like. The Carnegie Club is going to replace the dugout suites behind home plate. It'll be the most exclusive and luxurious spot in the ballpark. New clubhouses for our guys and the visiting team. We're going to add in the upper deck left field that was open last year as a social gathering spot. We're adding more of a sports bar look to it, and that's open to everybody in the ballpark that just wants to take a stroll and take a look at Lake Erie and the skyline and watch the game and enjoy the view from that vantage point. So the renovations this offseason, 100 times more than what we did last season, which is why I opened the answer to your question with, we certainly hope so.
That's a very Cleveland answer, sir.
We certainly hope so.
All right.
Luckily, we didn't get as good a head start as we did last year, thankfully, because we were playing into the American League Championship Series. So we got a little bit later start. We're cool with that, obviously. And then got hit with a tougher winter this year than we did a year ago. So you add all that together, and fingers crossed that everything's going to be ready to roll when we open up on April 8th against the Chicago White Sox,
who are predicted to have perhaps the worst season of any team in the league.
It's unfortunate. Jay, one of the most shocked things that I have seen in my 40-plus years of doing this was Grady Sizemore becoming the manager, the interim manager last year. Not that he's not capable of being a leader. He was when he was a player. It's just the interesting aspect of part of a manager's job is dealing with the media twice a day. And Grady, not the fact that he didn't like the media, he really enjoyed off the record, just sitting down and conversing. But he would always say, I really don't have anything to say when we would ask him to do a special thing here or deal with a media person on this unique project. And he would always decline and just say, I really just don't have much to say. And then all of a sudden he's dealing with the media twice a day as the skipper of a baseball team. So I just found all that pretty interesting. But yeah, they're gonna struggle a little bit. Again, I think our division, 3 teams in our division were in the postseason last year. So
correct.
Obviously it's a tough division. You throw the Twins in there as well. We play 39 games against the Royals, the Tigers, and the Twins. They're going to be the most intense, fun, aspect of our 2025 schedule, I believe.
Absolutely. We want to thank Bob DiBiasio, the Senior Vice President of Public Affairs for the Cleveland Guardians, for joining us today. And there is much more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Rothman and Ice.
Your front office has the ability to maneuver these numbers around. Cap space is a thing, but sometimes the way it looks on paper, it's not as concrete as it may seem.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmeldt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be mean.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros, the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Brighten your home and save big money on light bulbs at Menards. Get a stylish vintage look, plus the latest in LED technology with Fight Electric Enhance light bulbs. They provide vivid, natural light. Save big money on a 4-pack of Fight Electric Enhance light bulbs. On sale now through March 9th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people. But anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Sad news this week out of Cleveland as the owner of the Cleveland Guardians has died. Nick Camino and Jay Crawford of ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland have more.
A sad day for the Guardians and for the Dolan family as Larry Dolan has passed away at the age of 94. When you think about the Dolan family and you think about Larry Dolan, you think about a Northeast Ohio guy. Larry Dolan and the Dolan family became the owners in the year 2000 when they bought the club from Dick Jacobs. Dolan, as I mentioned, a Northeast Ohio guy, grew up in Cleveland Heights, a St. Ignatius grad. He played football at St. Ignatius, played in the charity game at Old Cleveland Stadium. His son Paul really took control as the owner in 2013, but Larry has overseen so much of this over the last 25 years. In fact, the 2025 season will be the family's 26th year of ownership, the longest in club history. And when you think of Larry Dolan and when you think of Paul Dolan, they have just been so consistent on the business side, consistent on the baseball side. The winning has come with all of that. I remember when they took over from an ownership group in the 90s where you had the new ballpark and all sorts of spending and just all of that in and of itself was such a monster in the glory years. They took over really after that, and I thought that they have just done a remarkable job, especially over the last 15 years where the Guardians Indians, they have been one of the winningest clubs in all of Major League Baseball, and that starts at the top. And I just think it's so unique that Larry Dolan and the Dolan family from here, they're all like one of us, and he grew up wanting to be an owner of a club. He did just that. He will be missed, and we're all thinking about his family today, obviously, Jay.
Well, as you know, Nick, sports has a scoreboard, and by that metric, Larry Dolan was very successful as the owner. You mentioned 25 seasons as the owner of the club. 9 of those 25 seasons, the Indians/Guardians made it to the playoffs. Not a bad record at all. Larry Dolan, again, dead at the age of 94.
Last month, the Guardians added to their roster by acquiring left-handed pitcher John Means and right-handed pitcher Jacob Junis. The moves give the Guardians more depth in the bullpen, but also potential starters as the need arises. Tristan McKenzie is attempting to make the starting 5 this year with hopes of returning to his 2022 prowess. In spring training, his fastball has been clocked as high as 97 miles per hour. In Central Ohio, the Arnold Sports Festival returned to Columbus this week, celebrating another year as one of the largest multi-sports fitness events in the entire world. The event ran this past Thursday through Saturday, ending yesterday at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. The festival included strength and Olympic sports, IFBB Pro League bodybuilding contests, the NPC Arnold Amateur Bodybuilding Championships, the Arnold Strongman Classic, and the Arnold Classic. In addition to those competitions, the Arnold Expo featured hundreds of booths of the latest in sports equipment, apparel, and nutrition, and stages that hosted a variety of strength competitions and exhibitions, and also meet and greets. The annual event has a strong impact on the Columbus economy, with an estimated value of over $16 million. An estimated 100,000 people were in attendance to watch more than 10,000 athletes compete. The event has been an annual tradition in the capital city since 1989. This coming week, the Ohio High School Athletic Association begins its district tournament, with all 7 divisions competing in over 20 venues statewide. The final high school basketball rankings were released on February 18th, with St. Ignatius, Reynoldsburg, Olentangy Orange, Cincinnati-Aiken, and Westerville North finishing 1 through 5 this year. The Columbus Crew and FC Cincinnati have both started their regular season play in Major League Soccer. The Crew is without Cucho Hernandez and Christian Ramirez. Hernandez now plays in Spain, and Ramirez plays for the LA Galaxy. FC Cincinnati moves on without Luciano Acosta, who now plays for FC Dallas. Acosta had been with the club since 2021. The Cleveland Cavaliers' win against the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the best teams in the NBA West last Sunday, proves that the team has the depth to handle both injuries and allow players much-needed rest. In that game, starters Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley scored 33 and 25 points apiece, something we've come to expect from the two All-Stars. With Darius Garland out at guard, Isaac Okoro got the start in his place. Okoro was coming off the injured reserve list and played only 19 minutes, scoring 6 points and posting 4 rebounds. But the surprise of the season is the off-the-bench performance from Ty Jerome. In that game against Memphis, Ty Jerome played 23 minutes, scored 26, had 4 assists, 2 steals, and posted 5 rebounds. The game was perhaps the most physically aggressive the team has played all season, including a controversial skirmish over a ball in the third quarter. Nick Camino of ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland has the highlights of that Memphis game, as well as some comments from guard Donovan Mitchell.
Second quarter action, Donovan Mitchell dishes it off to Jared Allen. He finishes at the rack like a grown man there. Cavs up 50-44. Still in the second, Mitchell draws a triple team, finds a wide open Max Strus. He buries the triple to beat the halftime buzzer. Cavs led at the break 62-56. Third quarter, check this out. Mitchell has it. Desmond Bane there. They get into it. It's like a wrestling match on the floor. We got technical fouls going everywhere. Mitchell, Bane, Morant, and Tristan Thompson, they'll probably get a nice little fine from the league. That got a little bit ugly. When basketball resumed, Cavaliers take care of business. Donovan Mitchell with a cherry on top slam. He had 33 points. How about the final? Cavaliers 129, Grizzlies 123.
I mean, to be honest, as a group, we've been there before against that exact team. So I think it just was, Max came out, set the tone, hit a shot. And we just went on a run after that. And credit to them, they, continue to push back and whatnot. But for us, that's just who we are. Continue to stay here regardless. It's competitive basketball. It was fun.
There's more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org. February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now, let's check in with Matt Andrews for this week's Ohio Broadcaster Roundtable.
Welcome back to this week's Ohio Sports Magazine. It's an exciting time in Blue Jackets land, and the radio in-game host Dylan Tyre from the CBJ Radio Network joins us. Dylan, where do you start with the order of importance, with excitement, with the playoff push, the stadium game, the return to play? Where do your allegiances lie right now based on what's going on with this team?
Oh, man. Well, Matt, thanks for having me. First and foremost, excited to talk Blue Jackets with you. But I would say the number one thing right now is the playoff push, right? I think that's on the top of everybody's minds. That is what we're most excited about right now, at least speaking for myself. The fact that all of this other stuff gets to come along with it and be a part of it, I think is really the cherry on top and adds to it. Like returning to play from the Four Nations break, being in the hunt is an amazing feeling and has given this team, this fan base, a lot of energy. And then being able to look forward to this Stadium Series game coming up on March 1st and that being a meaningful hockey game against the Detroit Red Wings, who really the Blue Jackets are fighting with for a playoff spot right now, is amazing. It's not often that you get these outdoor games late in the year that have playoff implications coming with them, but that's exactly what's in store Saturday at the Shoe. I cannot wait. So I'm excited about all of it, but I think the fact that the Blue Jackets are in the hunt, making this thing interesting, that's number one at the top of my list.
Dylan, this will air this weekend statewide. So as this game is going on or has happened Saturday night at Ohio Stadium, what's been the biggest thing leading up to the game? Is it the excitement of playing in front of that crowd, on the football field, in the locker room? What is the biggest thing right now that this team is focused on in regards to this game?
Oh, man, I think everybody is just so excited to see what the atmosphere is going to be like, right? The NHL has so much fanfare that comes along with it. They've said over and over again that they believe this is going to be the best outdoor game that they've ever put on, just because all the theatrics that come with it. I think the players are excited to see the atmosphere. Again, you think back to that Four Nations face-off and how raucous that was. There's 21,000 people in those buildings. You're going to quadruple that at Ohio Stadium, get upwards of 90,000, even maybe more than that, inside the shoe for a hockey game. It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be fun. And again, there are playoff implications that come with this game. The Blue Jackets, frankly, need to win against the Detroit Red Wings if they're going to want, or if they're going to get a spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So this is a huge game for the race. I think the players are very excited for that. But I think right at the top of the list would be the atmosphere of Ohio Stadium and really playing in front of that many people for the first time in all these guys' careers.
Dylan, you mentioned the Four Nations face-off. It captured the hockey world. The average Joe fan was completely captivated by it. Did you guys feel that, even those of you in the game?
Oh, absolutely. I just thought it was so great for the sport of hockey. Not even just the men's game, right, but the women's game too, especially this rivalry being renewed between the U.S. and Canada. That does so much for sports. It does so much for this sport. It was just so much fun, and the quality of hockey was terrific. I mean, even outside of the two U.S.-Canada games, I thought there was a lot to like about the entire tournament. You know, the way that Team Sweden, Team Finland played, and some of those results we saw in those games. So it was just so good to see best-on-best international hockey again. It had been 9 years since the World Cup back in 2016. At that point, people loved that tournament. I think the anticipation for the Four Nations face-off really ramped things up. The fact that these guys hadn't done it in so much time. It was also kind of a new generation of player doing it for the first time, that a lot of these guys hadn't played against each other in this type of setting. And it really sets up the Winter Olympics next year. You know, we're less than a year away from a potential another matchup between Team Canada and Team USA. And I think that was kind of the chatter in the Team USA locker room after they lost the Four Nations face-off final in overtime, that, hey, we're already looking forward to the Olympics. That's where we're going to get these guys again. So, I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. But I am fired up about hockey right now, and we definitely felt it just like everybody else around the world did.
Dylan Tyre, the Blue Jackets Radio Network host, is our guest on this week's Ohio Sports Magazine. Dylan, how do you put into perspective the kind of year Zach Werenski is having right now for the Jackets?
I don't know what to say other than maybe the best season in Blue Jackets history. I mean, does that put it in perspective for you? Because
I think so, yeah.
The pace that he's on right now, he is going to be the highest point getter in a single season in Blue Jackets history. Artemi Panarin holds that record, but Zach Werenski is on pace to pass him and surpass 90 points this season. It's not every year that an NHL defenseman is putting up 80, 90 points playing at a point-per-game pace, but that's exactly what Zach Werenski is doing this season. I've framed it like this to people. Last year, Zach was really, really good. I thought he had a breakout season last year when he put up 57 points, tying a franchise record. He did that in 70 games. He's already passed that this season with 25 games left when you and I are talking. So it's absolutely unbelievable. He's playing at a different level this season. I think he's taken his leadership to another level this season, and I'm so glad that he was able to take part in the Four Nations face-off and be part of Team USA, because people saw what we've been seeing all season long on an international stage. And by the way, Zach led that best-on-best tournament in scoring. You know, everybody on Team Canada, everybody on Team USA, Finland, Sweden, nobody had more points in that tournament than Zach Werenski, who led the way with 6, which was pretty incredible. And I think it speaks to the type of game that he's played this season. And, you know, I want him to stay healthy, and I want him to keep it up. And I want him to win the Norris Trophy as the best defenseman in the NHL this season. That is the caliber of year he's having.
Dylan Tyre of the Jackets Radio Network, our guest this week, an Ohio State alum. He'll be back at the Horseshoe this weekend. Enjoy it, Dylan. Thanks so much.
All right, Matt, I will. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. It's going to be amazing, and I appreciate you having me on.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
I hope you're ready for all the Jackets talk you can handle. Join us Wednesday night at 7 for the Inside Edge.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida. Discover the real Florida magic at visitcentralflorida.com.
The Fan.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Confidence is key this March, both in picking the right Cinderella teams for your bracket and the right contractor for your exterior project. When it comes to your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call the team you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF today or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Are you turning 65? Are you looking for Medicare Advantage coverage? Great news! The Ohio State Health Systems and Mount Carmel Health Systems are in our provider network. Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more. One of our licensed agents will answer your call. Call today, 1-888-76-AETNA. Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area. Participating healthcare providers are independent contractors and are neither agents nor employees of Aetna. The availability of any particular provider cannot be guaranteed, and provider network composition is subject to change. Other physicians, providers are available in our network. Uline is expanding in Ohio with a 1.4 million square foot building, and they're looking for exceptional people to get this location up and running. The company has seen decades of growth, creating a stable work environment employees can count on. Warehouse workers earn pay starting from $25 an hour, plus substantial bonus programs and great benefits. They also offer multiple shifts and schedules to fit your life. Check out current Aetna job opportunities at uline.jobs/Ohio.
For the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For your Sunday, we'll see more sun, a tad bit warmer, but a lot less wind. Daytime highs will be topping out in the mid-30s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye. This is ONN.
The National Football League held its annual scouting combine this week over in Indianapolis. 15 members of Ohio State's 2024 National Championship football team received invites to meet and work out for NFL scouts and talent evaluators. It's part of a group of more than 300 former college football players looking to hear their names called in the NFL draft this coming April. Paul Feinbaum covers college football at large for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS FM in Columbus. Paul was asked if there was a player or players he thought would be successful at the next level, but never panned out post-college.
I think the 2 most famous busts that I thought had a chance were Tim Tebow and Johnny Manziel. I wasn't 100%, but I thought they would at least be serviceable. Instead, they were Arena League legs. Please don't tell Tebow I said that.
Our secret.
But the one that in recent, these 2 Alabama players that I followed very closely, Tagovailoa and Bryce Young, to me, looked like can't miss. Tagovailoa, at the time he played, I had coaches telling me they have never seen anyone like him, and I've yet to see much of that in the NFL. And I think Bryce Young is still a little bit early in the game, but he has looked nothing like he did back at Alabama.
Yeah, the thing that's pretty wild about it does feel like hopefully he had some momentum, because all accounts are he's a great kid, and it seemed like he had some momentum at the end of this year in Carolina. But the other thing that happens is you have these comets, and I think of Joe Burrow. And I think about a guy who, in his first season at LSU, it came on late. But at the end of that season, nobody looked up and thought, yeah, that's going to be the number one pick in the draft the next year and have maybe the greatest single season a college quarterback has ever seen. In terms of year-to-year improvement, where does that Burrow seat? That's got to be at the top of it. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of Cam Ward, is a guy who was undraftable a year ago and now is likely going to be the first quarterback off the board.
Now, I'll tell you Joe Burrow's story. He was on our set right before his senior year at the SEC summer meetings, the media days. And I had been on with a couple of, I think it was Jordan Rodgers and a couple of other quarterbacks, and they had ranked Burrow as the number 3 quarterback coming in. And by the way, I mean, I was surprised because he was that high. So when he was on set, I said, Joe, by the way, I said, you were ranked among the top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC coming back. And I can't remember, it may have been, it wasn't Bryce Young, but it may have been Tagovailoa, one of his years. And he said, why at number 3? He said, I'm the best quarterback in the SEC. And I literally, my jaw dropped, because at that moment, nobody thought of him in the top really 4 or 5 or 6. And that story just was cemented into my mind the rest of the season as he just exploded.
His year or Cam's?
I'd probably go with Cam's, because I have just never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Burrow was just so good, but he had, as you well know, 2 All-Pro receivers with him. Cam, that team wasn't expected to do anything, and it wasn't just the fact that they won it all. It was his moves. I have never seen a quarterback make moves like that.
No, that's usually my default answer. So I was curious. What do you think of this group of SEC quarterbacks? Obviously, you have Milroe, who he surprised me a little. I think there was some thought that he would end up being a first rounder. That is not the feeling I got around there, and it seemed like maybe he would have benefited by going back to Alabama. Dart is another guy. Quinn Ewers. They're all kind of trying to fight to be that third quarterback. What do you make of those 3?
I like Dart the most, and I really don't like any. Ewers, to me, there's just something wrong. I love how all of a sudden it comes out that he had an oblique all year. Well, we knew that, but we were also told by him and Steve Sarkisian that he was completely recovered. But obviously, healthy Ewers, maybe. Milroe, I swear, I don't know if it was Kuiper or somebody before the season said he's the number 1 quarterback in college football, and I've rarely ever been more mystified by a quarterback. I mean, by the end of the year, I mean, I wasn't sure whose side he was on. He was so erratic.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Fish has been named the 3rd best sports program director in the country. The 2 dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life, so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled, beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmeldt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not...
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be me.
No doubt about it, Columbus loves Apex Pros, the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Roll Up to Win is back at Tim Hortons. We're rolling out great prizes like a 2025 Ford Bronco, $500 daily jackpots, Xboxes, and more. You can earn rolls with your purchase of an eligible hot or cold beverage and favorite breakfast item. A whole new way to earn rolls this year. Visit your neighborhood Tim's and download the app for great food and more opportunities to roll up to win. No purchase necessary. Tim Hortons app required. See rules on app for details. Entered by 3/23/25. Sponsored by Tim Hortons.
Save big money on your next project at Menards. Add a classic look and privacy with faux wood room darkening blinds by Window Images. They're available in a variety of colors and can be trimmed to width for free in store. Stop in today and get Window Images faux wood blinds on sale now through March 9th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Carl. I'm 68 years old, and I lost 40 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. In looking at pictures, I realized that my color wasn't good. I looked bloated, constantly tired, out of breath. It got to the point where I decided it was time to pick up the phone and call Awaken 180. The combination of the diet and the coaching really pushed me over the top. My self-confidence soared. I'm walking. I'm working out. Instead of 68, I feel like I'm 28. I just had my annual physical, and my doctor looked at my blood pressure and he said, "What did you do? What happened?" And I explained that I'm on the Awaken 180 program. I've never felt so good in my life. And as somebody that sometimes likes to take the shortcut, I didn't have to do that with this program. Awaken 180 is my solution for weight loss. Carl's solution for weight loss. My solution for weight loss. Scotty Vegas here. Lower blood pressure. Increase confidence. Feeling years younger. Want the same results? Then do what we did and make your own 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is ONN.
This week on the Ohio Sports Magazine, we're going to talk to our good friend Nick Curran, the AAA play-by-play broadcaster in Louisville for the Reds AAA affiliate. Nick Curran, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Always great to talk to you. Makes the day better.
The excitement of a new baseball season in Louisville and Cincinnati is right on our fingertips right now. What is the level of excitement for the radio broadcaster down there?
It's getting there. We've had some warm weather here, which is nice. It's finally warmed up a little bit this week. It makes it feel a little bit more like baseball. As you know, it's kind of overwhelming to stare ahead and know that opening day is about exactly 1 month away. So there's a lot to do, but it is very exciting and just trying to get everything done and learn about this group and be ready to go about a month from now.
Nick, what is some of the latest information Reds fans can be excited about going into this season, in your opinion, from the AAA perspective?
I think that the Bats team is going to look very similar to how it looked last year. I think there's going to be a lot of guys back that we saw last year, and I think that is exciting for Reds fans because you'll see some familiar faces that maybe contributed up there last year. You'll see, some guys that have been in the organization for several years. But the reason that's exciting is that this Bats team was really good in the first half of the season in 2024. The wheels kind of fell off in the second half because of a lot of injuries at the big league level, and particularly, the rotation situation there with so many injuries and just having to shuttle guys up there to make starts because seemingly a different guy was getting hurt every day.
So I think that's what's exciting. This was a fairly veteran group. It'll be even more veteran this year, I think, with the Bats. And, the likes of Rhys Hines, who was so explosive getting his first trip to the big leagues, but he figures to be back here in Louisville this year. Blake Dunn, Jacob Hurtubise, guys like that, guys in the rotation. Chase Petty, who we got to see at the very end of last year, would figure to be probably a bat at the start of the year this year. So there's a lot of cool, it's kind of a cool feeling to have guys that have been here because they were successful at the beginning of the season last year, and there are a lot of guys that got big league experience last year who can really plug holes when there inevitably will be some at the big league level as the season goes.
Nick Curran, the AAA voice of the Louisville Bats, Reds AAA affiliate, is our guest. The Terry Francona element of this team to me is fascinating. How will that play going forward, do you believe, as this year starts in Cincy?
I've heard through the grapevine at spring training that things are just kind of different this year. There's a different feel. There's maybe even more of a laid-back type feel in terms of the way things are run. And, I think that's awesome. And you knew things were going to be different. Here's a guy who was obviously won at the highest levels as a manager in Major League Baseball, and I think just everyone was so thrilled to have the opportunity to see him come and manage the Reds. I think his relationship with the Bats manager, Pat Kelly, they go way back. That is a pretty cool thing that will be fun for us to watch on our side of it as the season goes. But, yeah, I think just the excitement of having him as the manager has really trickled down to Reds fans. It's given, a fan base that has had a lot of reasons for optimism the last few springs, and one that maybe could have been looking to come into this year a little more pessimistic, as sometimes can be the case amongst that group. I think it's just given everyone a reason for optimism and reason to think that he'll be able to put the pieces together with this young team and get the most out of it. And I think that's something we're all looking forward to watch.
Nick, when you're paying attention to the spring training stuff right now, what are you seeing or hearing about Noelvi Marte? Where will that play in for this Reds organization?
Yeah, that's going to be one of the big questions, and I don't know. Clearly, when he came back last year, he wasn't quite where he had been. He had a great first run in the big leagues 2 years ago. Hit the ball well. I think he ended that season on a 15 or 16 game hitting streak, and there was a lot of excitement surrounding him as part of that young nucleus going into last year, but obviously the PED stuff and keeping him out, and it just seemed like he never really got into sort of that rhythm and flow that he had been in the year before. And we could see it here. He played in some rehab games with the Bats, and things didn't necessarily click here, but they had a need up there and said, let's give it a try. And it didn't quite work how they liked, but I think the cool part about the team now is that they have some options. They're it sounds like giving Christian Encarnacion Strand some reps at third base, and sounds like that's a real possibility that maybe he could play in games there. We saw him do that when he was in Louisville a couple of years ago a little bit. You've got a guy like Jeimer Candelario who could maybe play some third base. Spencer Steer can play anywhere. So they have options. So if Marte's not quite where they feel like they need him to be at the end of spring training, I think there is certainly a decent chance we could see him in Louisville when they break camp. And I think that's exciting because it shows some depth that this team maybe hasn't had the last couple of years. Like if a Marte's out, there's somebody there that can fill that spot and do it well. And then you hope he can kind of figure it out if he doesn't during spring, and then get back up there soon.
Nick Curran, the Reds AAA voice in Louisville, is our guest.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys chatted about how realistic it would be for the Browns to bounce back and make the playoffs next season.
Talk about this. The Athletic ranked the 18 teams that missed the playoffs in terms of most likely to bounce back in 25. And out of the 18 teams, and make the playoffs, the Browns were dead last. 18 out of 18. Fair or unfair? Do you agree with that?
Fair. I think it's tiers.
Are the Browns the least likely team to make the playoffs in 25?
If you said unfair,
yeah,
I'd say explain yourself.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, I think, first of all, there are 3 or 4 other teams you could probably make an argument that are right there with the Browns.
Sure.
But there's not a single team that you could say is clearly in worse shape than the Browns.
And going against Cleveland's the division.
Yes,
and
the conference.
Is a gauntlet. The conference.
Now, Tennessee's still got to deal with the conference. The Jets got to deal with the conference and the Jets division. But the Jets division, at least, New England's also not very good.
Yeah.
Right? With Tennessee, their whole division is mediocre or worse. So the Browns play in a tough AFC and in a North where all 3 of the other teams are better than they are.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with Nebraska.
Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 8.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouthwatering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on Post cereal or Kroger brand peanut butter. Select varieties are only $1.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry.
You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 are free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
We want to thank Nick Camino and Bob DiBiasio for being a part of this week's show. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.